Have you ever met someone who makes absolutely no sense? They don't fit your type. They don't check the boxes on your carefully constructed list. Logically, you should have walked away, but you didn't. You couldn't. It's not love at first sight that's too simple. It's something far more disorienting. It's a hazy, jarring moment of awareness, as if the deepest part of your biology just whispered, "Pay attention. This person matters." And then, the confusion sets in. You ask yourself, why them? Why does this stranger feel so terrifyingly familiar? Why does their presence trigger an ache inside me that I didn't even know was there? We are taught that love is a choice, a calculation of compatibility. But Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology, believed something entirely different. He believed moments like these are not random. They are not accidents. They are urgent messages sent from the unconscious, a map hidden in the dark, guiding you toward the connections your soul actually needs, not the ones your ego wants. Jung famously said that real love does not stem from reason. It stems from a profound resonance between two inner worlds. It is the collision of two souls recognizing each other in the dark. But how do you distinguish this sacred encounter from a fleeting obsession? How do you know if this is a soul tie or just a toxic attachment? Today, we are going to decode the invisible map Carl Jung left behind. We will walk through the 7 undeniable signs that the person standing in front of you isn't just a lover but a destiny orchestrated by the unconscious mind. Before we can recognize true love, we must first understand why we get it wrong so often. According to Jung, when we first fall in love, we rarely see the other person as they truly are. We are looking at a movie screen, and the projector is inside our own heads. Jung called this projection. You see, each of us carries a hidden world within us, a collection of ideals, desires, and unhealed wounds buried in the unconscious. When you meet someone who fits the shape of those hidden desires, your mind instantly projects an image onto them. You aren't falling in love with them. You are falling in love with the reflection of your own soul that you see in them. For example, if you grew up feeling unsafe, you might project the archetype of the savior onto a strong, protective partner. If you've suppressed your own wildness, you might project it onto a chaotic, rebellious lover. This is the honeymoon phase. It feels magical because it is an illusion. It is narcissism disguised as romance. But here is the hard truth. True love only begins when the projection dies. It begins in that painful moment when the movie stops playing, when the magic fades, and you are left staring at a real, flawed human being. A person who has insecurities, who gets annoying, who is painfully ordinary. Most people run away at this stage. They think they've fallen out of love. But Jung would say, no, you have just arrived at the gates of real love. The question is, once the illusion is stripped away, what remains? If it is truly a connection of the soul, what Jung called a numinous experience, certain signs will emerge. Signs that prove this connection wasn't just a projection, but a bridge to your own wholeness. Here are the 7 signs. Sign number 1, the recognition of the soul. Have you ever looked at a stranger and felt a sudden, inexplicable click? It's not just physical attraction, it's a vibration. It feels like a memory returning from a forgotten dream. Jung explained this through the concepts of the Anima and the Animus. The Anima is the unconscious feminine side within a man, and the Animus is the unconscious masculine side within a woman. We spend our lives searching for this missing half of our psyche. When you meet your true love, they embody this hidden part of you. They hold the energy you have denied in yourself. If you are rigid and logical, they might be flowing and intuitive. If you are chaotic, they might be the grounding earth. You aren't just drawn to them, you recognize them. It's a feeling of returning home to a house you've never visited. It defies logic because it bypasses the brain entirely. Your soul simply nods and says, there you are. I've been looking for you. Sign number 2, the awakening of the shadow. This is the most misunderstood sign. We often think true love should feel like peace, but Jungian psychology suggests otherwise. If a connection is deep enough to transform you, it will not just stroke your ego, it will trigger your shadow. The shadow consists of the parts of yourself you hide: your jealousy, your insecurity, your rage, your unworthiness. A true soul partner acts as a mirror. Just by being themselves, they will unintentionally press your buttons. They will expose the wounds you thought were healed. You might feel irrational fear, sudden anger, or a desire to run. Why? Not because they are toxic, but because the light of their presence is so bright, it casts a shadow on your demons. They are forcing you to look at what you have suppressed. Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." If this person makes you want to be a better human, even while they drive you crazy, it is a sign of growth. They are not here to comfort your sleep. They are here to wake you up. Sign number 3, the energy of aliveness. There is a distinct difference between a karmic relationship and a soul connection. A karmic relationship, often confused for passion, drains you. It leaves you anxious, depleted, and questioning your sanity. True love, according to Jung, operates on the principle of the conservation of energy. It is a chemical reaction that creates more than it consumes. Even after a conflict, even in silence, being near this person recharges you. You feel a quiet, steady hum of aliveness. It's not the frantic adrenaline of anxiety. It is the grounding power of vitality. Ask yourself, do I feel expanded or diminished in their presence? True love acts as a battery for the soul. It fuels your creativity, your work, and your zest for life. If you feel like you are dying to keep the love alive, it is not love. It is parasitism. Sign number 4, individuation and shared purpose. Jung's ultimate goal for human life was individuation, the process of becoming your distinct, whole self. Many people think love means merging into one. That is codependency. True love creates a paradox. It creates a bond that is unbreakable. Yet it allows both people to be more independent than ever before. In a destined connection, you walk parallel paths. They don't ask you to sacrifice your dreams to serve theirs. They become the wind beneath your wings. They want you to fulfill your potential as much as you do. You share a third entity, a purpose greater than the relationship itself. Maybe it's a shared value of healing, of creating, of exploring. You aren't looking at each other. You are looking outward in the same direction. Sign number 5, synchronicity. This is where things get mystical. Jung coined the term synchronicity to describe meaningful coincidences that cannot be explained by cause and effect. The universe seems to conspire to bring you together. You meet in the most unlikely place. You run into each other right after you make a prayer for change. You see their name everywhere. The timing is often inconvenient, yet perfect. These aren't random accidents. They are the language of the collective unconscious. It's as if reality itself is bending to ensure this meeting happens. When the outer world aligns with the inner feeling, pay attention. The universe is highlighting this person in neon lights. Sign number 6, radical authenticity. In society, we all wear what Jung called the persona, a mask we present to the world to be liked and accepted. We smile when we are sad. We act strong when we are weak. The terrifying beauty of true love is that the mask falls off. You physically cannot keep it on around them. With this person, you feel a safety container so strong that you can be ugly, messy, weak, and broken, and you know you are still safe. You don't have to perform. You don't have to earn their love through achievements or looks. This is the ultimate test. Can I be naked in my soul with them? If you feel you have to edit your thoughts or hide your feelings to keep them, it is not the right connection. True love demands the naked truth. Sign number 7, the choice of truth. Finally, the most brutal sign. True love forces you to stop lying to yourself. When you meet someone who resonates with your soul, you can no longer tolerate a life that is fake. You suddenly realize you hate your job. You realize your other friendships are superficial. You realize you've been living a script written by someone else. This love acts as a catalyst for truth. It demands that you level up. It presents a crossroads. You can either retreat into your old, comfortable, false life, or you can step into the fire of transformation to be worthy of this connection. True love is not just a feeling, it is a call to action. It asks you to shed the skin of who you used to be so you can become who you are meant to be. But a word of caution. Jung was a man of science, and he knew the dangers of the human mind. We must distinguish between soul resonance and what psychologists call limerence. Limerence is an addiction. It is an obsessive, consuming desire for someone, usually fueled by uncertainty. It feels intense, yes. It feels like you can't breathe without them. But that intensity is not love. It is your unhealed trauma, screaming for a pacifier. If the relationship is defined by high highs and devastating lows, if it is a cycle of chasing and running, if you feel anxious every time they pull away, that is not the anima, recognizing the animus. That is your inner child reenacting an abandonment wound. Jung warned that we must not mistake intensity for intimacy. Real love expands you. It gives you freedom. False love shrinks you. It gives you anxiety. If you find yourself begging for crumbs of affection or twisting yourself into a pretzel to fit their needs, stop. That is the projection gone wrong. That is you trying to fill a void that only you can fill. This brings us to the final, most important lesson from Carl Jung. You are not looking for your other half because you